Almost set up. All right. Namaste. I'm Ezichiade. This is the Golden Circle Movement Channel. Today we're discussing, can Johrei survive AI? Now, for those of you who are new to this understanding, Johrei is a light worker practice of tuning oneself to divine light using an amulet called a focal point with a symbol for light used to not only protect the wearer but to enhance, to focus the light so that we can channel it to others for spiritual purification. Now, AI, as you know, has taken over lately as far as uh, creativity, content, and people's desire to communicate ideas that they really didn't know that much about before. Welcome to all the viewers. We are discussing whether or not Johrei, the lightworker practice, can survive in this age of AI. We were discussing, of course, whether or not the use of AI will dilute or uh, divert the understanding of those who are seeking knowledge. Well, hello, Ghostwriter. Good to see you. Um, Meta skills will always triumph. This is true, Ghostwriter. Uh, Meta skills are what happens as an individual releases a lot of the negativity in their auric field. We call this purification in terms of Johrei. Now, as an individual purifies, their individual light can shine brighter. They reflect more of the divine light that is around us. The focal point is able to focus even more light, not having to go through the impediments of negativity within the uh, channeler's auric field. So when you release a lot of those negative elements, yes, you begin to uh, tap into your hidden abilities, your meta skills, if you will. Um, Things like uh, divination, knowing the future, knowing the past, knowing what is happening on the other side of town right now. Ghost Rider says, where you live in America. So I can time your channel because I'm from South Africa. I see. I see. It is good. Welcome from South Africa. This is Utah, United States, of course. Um, Are you familiar with the practice of Johrei? Are you familiar with Mokichi Okada or Meishu Sama, as some of us know him? If so, then you understand the origins of the Johrei practice that we're discussing. If not, then what you would want to know is that Mokichi Okada was a businessman who, well, through a series of unfortunate events, turned away from God. And in his reaching and searching for answers, he found truth. He found light. He found light, and light found him. He was able to receive light inside of his body, and this allowed him to amplify the light that he could send to others. He learned that if he used this specific character for light, then his practitioners, his uh, devotees, could then also channel this same light. So here we are today in the age of AI, where answers and knowledge is readily available because of AI, and also because of the daylight age. You see, I don't think per se you should fear AI, but I think that if we don't use it responsibly, we could find ourselves in a condition where we over rely on the creativity, the thoughtfulness of AI. We have such knowledge and then beyond. In fact, we are able to know that which is here as well as that which is over there without the use of electronic equipment or anything of that nature. We have this inherently within us. It has been suppressed through our diet, through our education, through our socialization, civilization, if you will. There is another comment. Ghostwriter says, thanks for the explanation. The mistake we make with AI is thinking knowledge is the same as taking action and having mastery. Well said, Ghostwriter. You see, just to expand on that statement, um, I use AI in order to uh, explain what it is I'm presenting, but more importantly, to explain it using relevant and low competition keywords, something that I have very little knowledge of. The subject that I'm presenting is my expertise. How to create the code for a website to present it, I am at a loss. How to do my part in having the content to present, which requires mastery in order to present it. Yes, this is my area. This is your area. This is our area. So AI will not diminish Johrei unless we let it. But more importantly, it will allow us to take teachings and put them together in a whole new way, in a more efficient way, in a way perhaps that newer participants, newer readers, newer seekers may receive this knowledge and find it palatable and understandable on their level. Now, one could say we should never change the teachings. Well, I have news for you. The teachings are, of course, written or at least conceived by Meishu-sama, Mokichi Okada. However, he gathered this knowledge from other sources and he compiled it, and if you will, he AI'd it in his own manner to suit his needs. Now, there is nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is this, that using AI should not go too far. It should not change the words, but you can use AI to organize and to try out different strategies and ideas. So there is nothing wrong with using AI, even in the course of the practice and administration of Johrei. It is, of course, just like medicine or any other science that we engage in that um, can leave a residual toxicity in the body. The use of AI will diminish one's capacity for free thinking if we overuse it. So it is important to know how to balance. You balance by taking it slow. Don't go too fast. Welcome. We're discussing today uh, whether or not Johrei, the practice begun by Mokichi Okada, whom we call Meishu-sama, back in really the 30s, but it lasts here today in many different forms. And we were wondering if Johrei can survive AI. See, AI, uh, while it is very helpful, it can also be very uh, destructive because it makes us lazy. So there is a balance that we must find. When organizing emails or letters, definitely AI is appropriate. It should not be used to redesign the teachings. That would be inappropriate. But it could be used to connect one teaching to another by allegory or metaphor. So there are many different things that we can use AI for in the practice of giving service through Johrei, but we should be wary and be careful not to go too far. So, let's see that. That is Jaden Murray. Hey, Jaden, thank you for joining us today. He says, miss you, man. Hope your surgery goes well. Well, I am planning to have a surgery on Friday, the 23rd, June 23rd. This will be a fusion of my lumbar region, L3 through S1. So that's quite extensive, and I appreciate the well wishes. Thank you for the support, the love. I appreciate that. Many of you have donated to the GoFundMe, and that has been very helpful since I am not working. Uh, and this channel, though it has the 1,000 subscribers, is not monetized because we don't have 4,000 view hours. So if we could like and share the video, that would help us in the algorithm. Meanwhile, we have products, new merch, new uh, name brand, saying Golden Circle brand merch in our merch store. So make sure you check out the merch store. Check out our merch store. We have 2 songs that are available for download. We have a class coming up, maybe in the next month or so. This will be a light worker uh, certificate course where one can learn how to become a light worker and how to become an effective light worker. And this class will have different levels that you can go to beyond that, and it will teach you even more about the practice. Not only the practice of Johrei, but the practice, the physicality, the metaphysics of being a light worker. And there is the light. If this is something that you're into, type healing light in the comments. Type healing light. Let's see. Okay, Ghostwriter says, I gave you in my prayers. Thank you for that. Ghostwriter also says, why not use AI for SEO and other YouTube marketing thingy-majiggy? All right. Well, okay. So that is an excellent point, Ghostwriter. Why not use AI for SEO, especially in spiritualities, to reach more seekers who are trying to connect by keywords, highly relevant keywords, highly relevant, low competition keywords. This is a prompt mod that you might use to uh, redesign or to focus whatever you are trying to SEO, because it doesn't really matter whether you have tags or not these days. It matters whether or not your description has the keywords necessary for someone to find it, whether your title is effective in catching the viewer's attention. So then, yes, definitely AI is applicable and definitely useful for that. I'm just saying, you know, there's a fine line between AI and over relying on it. The over reliance is basically how we are with medicine and other conveniences in our civilization. Our civilization is full of shortcuts and things that are here to make our lives more convenient, more less strenuous, and these things have made us weaker. So we must be sure not to allow AI to make us weaker. Do we have any other thoughts or considerations on this subject? While we are thinking about that, let's have a few moments of divine light and uh, allow this light to penetrate the deepest, darkest abyss of our souls. Allow it to release all that negativity. Allow us to see more clearly. Allow us to think more clearly so that we can be more effective in our use of AI in our spiritual work. So, first, let's have a few moments of silent reflection and gratitude. Thank you. So, If you're somewhere where you can sit down, go ahead and sit down, close your eyes, relax, take a few moments to consider uncles, mothers, cousins, those in your life who are suffering. Maybe you have uh, negativity between you. Maybe your enemies, especially those that you have negativity with. Allow them to receive this light as you receive it. For those who know the Amatsu no Rito, I will add the Amatsu no Rito to this light session. Takamaharani kamzomare masu kamarugi kamaromi no mikoto mochite sume mi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto kushino emuka no tachihana no ado no ahagi harani Nisogi harai tammo toki ni narimaseru Harai dono okami tachi moro moro no maga goto sumi kegare wo Harai tamai kiyome tamai to mausu koto no yoshi wo Amatsukami kunitsukami yau yorozo no kami tachi tomo ni Ame no fuchikoma no mimi furita tete Kekoshime seto kashikomi mamasu Neroku o mikami mamori tamae sakiae tamae Neroku o mikami mamori tamae sakiae tamae Oshie mi oya nishino kami mamori tamae sakiae tamae Oshie mi oya nishino kami mamori tamae sakiae tamae. Here we may offer our individual silent prayer. Kanagara tamachi haemase. Kanagara tamachi haemase. Thank you. So let's see. Kathy O'Neill has Ghostwriter says Kathy O'Neill has books on algorithms. Ghostwriter, do you happen to have a link that you can share with us? I find that even though anyone could look these things up, if someone can provide a link, that is very helpful, a helpful start on that particular leg of the journey. How you injure your back, if I might ask? Well, it is not an injury per se. It is just really time, age. There was an accident, an automobile accident some years ago, maybe about 25, 30 years ago, and that accident did hurt my back. I had chiropractic after, and I was pretty good for a number of years, but I have done heavy work, carrying heavy items, doing a lot of work that puts a lot of pressure on the spine. So those discs have eroded and just rubbed down, and now it's almost just vertebra to vertebra, bone to bone. And then the nerves that go between the vertebra, that's got a lot of pressure. They call that lateral stenosis. Now, it's not at all fun. It's probably some of the worst pain I've ever experienced. So they're going to um, do a fusion on my back, which involves lifting the vertebra up, putting screws in, putting rods in to hold them at that level, and putting a cage inside to keep the vertebra from coming back down, and then bone marrow, cadaver bone marrow at that, to create the fusion. The fusion takes about a year to solidify, and that will be a long year, and we will see how that goes. I will do my best to provide videos, content, and other merch as I can. Let's see. Ghost Rider says, weird question. Can one still be spiritual if they genetically alter themselves with biotechnology? Hmm. Well, yes and no. So it is true. We are, if one were to agree with the metaphor, as God made us. And yet, I wear contacts, an enhancement. And yet, some use insulin to modify their survival. Others use chemicals or heart surgeries. Putting toxins in your body, such as medicinal toxins, is counter to Johrei practice. So you could say most everything that we do that alters our form, alters even uh, things that you couldn't see or know about us, like on a molecular level. Those things are all part of your body. Your body, which is a condensation of your spiritual consciousness. So, even though one may enhance oneself with uh, genetic enhancements, biotechnology, cybernetics, unlike Star Wars, that uh, bases the Force on the mass, the volume, the quantity of midichlorians in one system. Spirituality, spiritual energy flows quite differently. You see, it is not necessarily uh, dependent on the body. After all, after death, the spirit is all that remains. So, whether the body has been enhanced or left natural, you are still a spiritual being. And unless you're thinking If your thinking says, oh, because I have these enhancements, I am a superior being, and I will act accordingly. Now you are out of balance. Now you are out of line. Now the biotech is wrong. If it causes harm to others, even causes them to feel bad, it's wrong. If the use of this biotech enhances not only your life, but the lives of others, because now you are more fulfilled. You are able to be happy. You are able to do what you want to do in life. Maybe you can go out and shake someone's hand. Go out and just smile at someone. Go out and sing a song. Yeah. Do something outside of yourself with what you have gained. Now it means something. It's not just some fad tech. It's not just some thing that people use these days. No, it's something important. In fact, maybe it should be this way. We should all have biochips, you know? Are there any other questions while I offer some more light? Are you a practitioner of Johrei? Do you channel light? Are you a healer? What do you do, Ghostwriter? Okay. Another question. Does weed, magic mushrooms, really enlightenment? Hmm. Are you asking, does it enhance enlightenment or does it hinder enlightenment? Which are you asking? While we are considering that question, let us consider the body. The body which we just discussed and said it is natural and maybe unnatural to bioenhance it. Being unnatural does not make it less spiritual. Weird question. Does we okay? Used to be a light worker, retired. I see. Okay. Are you asking about the magic mushrooms? Please go into your question a little more. And what type of light worker were you? What modality? Reiki, what reconnective healing? What kind of light worker practice did you uh, engage in? Do those plants help or hinder in life purpose? Okay, so here we go. It is, again, as with most spiritual questions, the answer is both yes, they do hinder your enlightenment, and no, they do not hinder your enlightenment. Okay, so here it is. As you are new to the journey outside of your regular conscious state, to meditate, to achieve that level of understanding, it may take a while. may take a few years, maybe a few lifetimes, maybe never. So, how does one travel on the path if one cannot find the entrance? So, when they say a gateway substance, in my opinion, mushrooms are definitely a gateway to the other side. And in going there, one develops fortitude. Yeah. You see, when you go to the other side, it might be fun, but it might also make your heart race a little bit. You might encounter things that you have never experienced before. So, going on an acid trip, mushrooms, those avenues, DMT, those avenues open up pathways where an individual who may question whether or not they are a seeker, and if there is anything to seek. Well, using those substances can control one's entry. By controlling one's dosage, you can control the experience. Now, marijuana, cannabis. I use cannabis every day, quite often. Now, I meditate. As you know, I use the Gateway experience as my model for meditation. So I can tell you, having been completely without cannabis, completely without any other substances, while my alertness and ability to be aware of my surroundings is definitely without any impediments, anything to slow me down. Toxins in our food slow us down. There are many elements, but I can tell you, even with those impediments, those things like mushrooms, DMT, those things will open your eyes. They will help you prepare yourself for the bigger journey when you don't use any substances. So, Ghostwriter says that you were a practitioner of Reiki, Qigong, those types of modalities. Is that how you found this channel? I was doing Tai Chi and Qigong on this channel in the very beginning. Uh, we've moved all of those items now to the Golden Dragon Qigong channel. Um, Ghostwriter says also esoteric Christianity, laying hands type of healing. Okay. Thank you for your answer, he says. Or she, I do not know if Ghostwriter is male or female. It doesn't matter. That is quite fine. Ghostwriter says, thank you for your answer. Very informative and insightful. Can edibles also help with enlightenment? Well, now, here we are. We must understand sativa or indica. So both are helpful with enlightenment. Both are a hindrance to enlightenment. Let's start with how they help. They help by indica will relax the body. Relaxing the body will allow you to stay in a mental state where you can explore outside of your body. The sativa will make you more active. Your mind will run. Maybe you can control that. So there is a thing that you will have to decide for yourself, whether you eat a sativa or eat a hybrid or eat an indica. That's something that you'll have to decide for you. I can tell you most likely it will put you to sleep. So, um, mm, 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 edibles can. Okay, so that is how they hurt with enlightenment. Is they slow you down, and also you can develop an over reliance on that substance to bring you to that state. So it is a fine line, and only you can walk it. What will happen is you may use it, use it, use it, and then one condition will happen where you don't have it, and then you will have to go to the next level of relying on your own internal understanding, your own visualizations. Not just letting visualizations come into your head because of the substance, but creating the visualization. Ghostwriter also asks or says the reason many folks abuse the herb this side, that's why I want to change my perception. I see. Well, it is true that many people do what they do. People kill each other. Governments kill each other. Your neighbor, the minister, the pastor, he has a history. Your neighbor, the pedophile, he once saved somebody's life. So everyone has their own challenges. I would leave their challenges to them. What other people do really is irrelevant in this regard, simply because it is you who must decide what goes inside of your body. And it is also they who must decide what they will ingest. So, I would suggest a detox, a cleanse. I don't have a recipe on me, on my channel yet, but it should consist of things like black walnut, um, aloe, burdock root. Mm, 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 mm. There's a few other elements, but things like that are powerful herbs for cleansing, for spirituality. Do this for 30 days. I believe cayenne pepper is also in there, but 30 days or more. I did it for 2.5 years. So that is how I had the awakening. My third eye blossomed because of this. So doing a pure cleanse, no smoking, no drinking, if you can abstain from sexual activity, uh, uh, even profanity. If you can, even for 30 days, shine, be a human being, a true human being, the human being that you've always wanted to be, that you are. Just for a moment, be cleansed and pure. You will see the truth. Ghostwriter also asks, before you found spirituality, what you used to be or used to do. Okay, so let's go way back to high school, junior high, maybe even. Um, I saw the Apollo missions on TV in the 70s, and as I grew up, I knew I wanted to be an astronaut. So it was my path to figure out how to become an astronaut. I learned that most astronauts, all astronauts at that time, were military personnel. Most of them came from the Air Force or the Navy. So I didn't really care for the Navy, but I did care for the Air Force. So I made it my objective to enter the Air Force Academy. Then I would go private sector for a while, and then I would go to NASA or whatever. But in between there, well, you should know that um, when one decides to go into the military, then one decides to accept all that the military entails, the killing, that is, the hand to hand, the strangling or cutting of someone's throat, or killing them silently so as to not alert their comrades before you come to kill them. So, this was my whole way of thinking. USA, yeah, government, the government, yeah, believed in them. Yeah, I was a government man. I was going to be that guy who would uh, fly into your country, violate your borders, destroy your home, your city, your family, fly back to my base, have a brew with my crew, have fun, because that was amazing. Yeah, that was my whole way of thinking. I could be a great soldier. So I had a dream when I was 17 that I was flying over a desert country, and it was my mission to drop weapons on this country. So what happened was I considered the women and children down below, and I couldn't do it, not in a dream. And so when I woke up, I realized if I hesitated in my dream, I would hesitate in real life. So I resigned my application, I removed it, and I did not go to the Air Force Academy. And this changed the path for me from many lifetimes of warfare and violence. Life, the energy I would have put into warfare, I put into love. And that love, well, has brought you here. Let's see. How Ghostwriter asks, how you ingest the cayenne pepper, I might ask. Well, I eat it on my food. I eat like a quarter of a teaspoon pretty much on everything that I eat. In the course of making a tincture, okay, a cleansing tincture, you would boil these. Well, not necessarily boil, because boiling will kill the, the functionality of the living herb. So it's just really simmered so that it extracts. It's just a water extraction. It extracts that that substance that you're trying to get, And then, like say if you add cayenne or other elements, this enhances the effect of the entire tincture. Cayenne is what you use to pump it up, to increase the efficacy of any tincture or mixture. Uh, Ghostwriter says, "Damn, you look extremely young. Nice. I'm 60 years old as of May 21st. So, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Is it true?" Ghostwriter asks, "Is it true that killing folks creates bad karma?" Hmm. Well, let's see. I'm going to change my angle. Okay, so um, it is true. Um, Karma is a rock. Okay, you got a rock. Yeah, I can do anything with this rock. In fact, I just did. I just bashed somebody's head in with this rock. I killed him with this rock. Man. Now I did some other stuff. I got some more rocks. Well, I'll get a bag. So put them in a bag. Put them in a backpack. Where are these rocks? Where are these rocks? All these rocks, all these rocks. That's what karma is. Karma is attachment. Karma is attachment that draws us back to this world. We go out and we're trying to ascend because we studied. We went through so much in this life. But instead of releasing those elements that we learned, we hold on to them because what they did to me, I'm gonna get them back. And what I did, the guilt, that guilt, that guilt. Hmm. Now, killing folks creates bad karma. So, giving light helps release bad karma. Why? Why? Okay. Karma is a result of action. Action taken, even if it is inaction, that is an action that was taken. So, if we consider uh, an action of love, your time, okay? So you take your time and you give light. Shh. How do you feel? I'm okay. So they need more light. In order for them to receive more light through you, you have to purify. Consider a glass of water. We're mostly water, but that water has all this toxicity from the food. Ooh, all that stuff that we eat. Oh my God. It's cloudy, maybe brownish. I mean, look at our urine. Look how horrible it smells. Your BM, what comes out of you, it's so horrible. That's what we are. That what's coming out of us, that's exactly what we are. We are the residual of that. That's just the heaviest, the worst of it. The other parts are still inside of us. So as you purify, you give more light, receive light, receive light, receive light. Those energy fields of negativity begin to dissipate. The toxins inside the body begin to melt and come out, exiting the body. Gives you a purer vessel, a more pure vessel to channel the light. And so because of that, that allows you to release more karma, as you give light. More effect because you have taken the time, you put in the work. Let's see. Ghost Rider asked, why were you doing a medieval event? Was having load shedding in my country. Oh, sorry. Your power was out temporarily. So here is this. The perception of that which is good or that which is not good, evil if you will, is not dependent upon one's perception or understanding. Truth is immutable. It is unchanging. And it is also true that we have been misled by words. That is evil. That is witchcraft. That is voodoo. That, well, okay. It is true. There are dark practices. It is true. It is also true that a practice, even as bright as being a light worker, can also have darkness. I've seen light workers fight, fist fight. I've seen light workers curse each other. I've seen light workers threaten to kill other light workers. So I was at a medieval event. Actually, it was a Renaissance festival. We have a booth. Wife, my twin flame, makes handmade soap. And I make Orgonite and other resin items for sale. Those items are for sale in our merch store, goldencirclemovement.com. Check it out. Merch in you might be interested in. We go there or wherever the energy is. The people are happy and it's friendly. As you could see, we had so much fun that day. It was an amazing event. And we sold a lot of product. Those sales help this channel, help us maintain our temple. We are creating a sacred grounds here that will be dedicated very soon. Now, that event had individuals who represented executioners, uh, slave girls, um, plague doctors, all kinds of interesting characters. I myself was dressed as a magic user, a wizard, if you will, which isn't too far from my real life endeavors in that I deal with the other side. So, don't get caught up in names, words that people use to label and misdirect, misinform. Don't fall for that. Words like Christianity, Baptist, Protestant, Catholic, Buddhist. Don't fall for that. An individual may be of a high spiritual rank in an organization and still be a jerk. So none of that matters. A person, in fact, I have many friends who are Satanists, who worship Satan and practice dark energy work. However, they do not use it maliciously to hurt others or anything of that nature. In fact, I have found these individuals to be very uh, high integrity and very uh, high vibrational individuals. So you can't always believe what you see. You must trust what you feel. So we're going to close off today's live today. If there are any more questions, please put them in the comments. It'll show up in the replay. I'll be sure to address those comments or questions at that time. Um, we have, let's see, a couple more days, 3 more days, I believe, before surgery. And I'll try to keep you updated on that process. Um, for those of you who are interested in, uh, I have a playlist of lumbar fusion, and in particular, the procedure that I'm going to have. If you're interested to know about that, then put that question in the comments and I'll put that link up. I'm not going to put the link up unless you ask for it. Uh, it can be a bit intense to view what the surgery will be. It's only animation, but it's pretty accurate. So yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. A person who watched it said, "It's hard to watch." You ought to be me. It's gonna be me. They're gonna do it too. So anyway, uh, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your participation. Namaste. Okay, I see there is one more question. Ghostwriter asks, what are your thoughts on alchemy? You've done it before, and what was your experience with it? And there is the light. So, alchemy, for those who are new to this subject, is the combining of substances to create a new substance, or the manipulation of a single substance to create another substance, or to create a substance not found in nature. So when we say substance, those things are relative. That could mean anything. What is a substance? A substance is it can be homogeneous, but it's usually a heterogeneous or uh, uh, different, multiple, different components go into making this single component. And what we are considering in alchemy is basically molecular reconstruction or rearrangement, such that the item changes its uh, substantive properties. Now, this is something that also happens in the mind, where one takes an idea and transmutes it into something else. I will give you a perfect example. Going from angry to gracious, okay? To have anger is to push outward. It is an outward expression. It happens internally, but it radiates outward, and it is very forceful. So anger can change one's biochemistry. Hmm. It can change the energy composition. So alchemically, if we decide to transmute it from anger to appreciation, I'm so glad this happened. Now I know what to expect. I know what not to do. Thank God it happened now and not before I got to this point. So I believe alchemy is a very useful tool. Um, Alchemy is a emotional, a mental state, not only a physical state. So let's see. Another question. Okay. So that will basically end the live at this time. Any more questions? Make sure you put them in the comments. I'll address them in the replay. I intend to edit these videos and give them a little bit, take out any of the dead space, and also put in my own version of my captions. My captions are better than YouTube's captions. They're bigger, easier to read. So thank you for your participation. Namaste.